When the first European settlers arrived in Appalachia, they heard stories from the Cherokee, not of their own ancestors, but of a people who came before them. They called them the Moon-Eyed People, a pale-skinned race with eyes so sensitive they couldn't stand the daylight. According to legend, they lived and worked only under the cover of night. The legend might have been dismissed as mere folklore if not for the physical evidence. The Cherokee claimed this people were responsible for the mysterious stone structures and earthwork mounds that dot the Appalachian landscape. The most famous is Fort Mountain in Georgia, with its serpentine, 855-foot-long stone wall. How could a prehistoric culture build something on this scale? The Cherokee legend tells of how the Moon-Eyed People's reign ended. On a full moon, the Cherokee and an allied tribe launched a surprise attack. They drove the Moon-Eyed People from their strongholds and forced them out into the daylight. Blinded and helpless, they were driven from their lands, fleeing west and vanishing from history forever. It wasn't just the Cherokee. In 1797, a professor named Benjamin Smith Barton documented these same legends of a race of pale people. Even President Andrew Jackson wrote about them. The consistency of the accounts across different sources and centuries is baffling, were they all describing the same folk memory of a real people? Archaeology adds another layer of mystery. Some have tried to connect the people to pre-Columbian cultures, like the Mississippian mound builders, or even lost explorers, like Prince Madoc of Wales, who was fabled to have reached America. Skeletons with unusual features have been found in the region, but the evidence remains highly controversial. Modern science offers a possible, if less romantic, explanation. Albinism, a genetic condition that causes a lack of pigment in the skin, hair, and eyes, results in extreme light sensitivity. Could the legend of the Moon-Eyed People be the folk memory of an ancient tribe or clan with a high incidence of albinism, forced by their condition into a nocturnal existence? But the albinism theory doesn't explain the engineering feats. Building structures like the Fort Mountain Wall would have required complex social organization, sustained labor, and advanced knowledge. Archaeologists today attribute most of these constructions to pre-Cherokee Mississippian cultures. But this raises a question. Why does the Cherokee legend itself insist it was others? But the albinism theory doesn't explain the engineering feats. Building structures like the Fort Mountain Wall would have required complex social organization, sustained labor, and advanced knowledge. Archaeologists today attribute most of these constructions to pre-Cherokee Mississippian cultures. But this raises a question. Why does the Cherokee legend itself insist it was others? Perhaps the true legacy of the Moon-Eyed People isn't in the stones or the books, but in the air itself. It's that particular feeling you get when you're alone in the deep Appalachian woods at night. The sense that you aren't truly alone, that the eyes of history of all the people who have called these mountains home are still watching from the shadows. So, who were the Moon-Eyed People? Were they a real tribe with a unique genetic condition? Were they the engineers of the Mississippian culture, their memory warped into myth? Or is the legend itself an artifact, a story created to explain the ruins of a civilization that not even the earliest Cherokee could fully comprehend? In the end, the mountains offer no easy answers. The stones of Fort Mountain remain silent, and the hollers fill with fog, shrouding their path. The mystery of the Moon-Eyed People endures, not as an answer, but as a question that invites us to look deeper, to listen closer, and to remember that we are not the first, and the history we know is only one page in a much, much older book.